Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Legend Greatness bringing you a Game Pass Game of the Week. And the game this week is Fallout 4. Now, this received a bunch of controversy at the start when they first came out due to some changes made to the dialogue system, not really being able to deviate from Mr. Preston Garvey here in terms of the settlement building and stuff. And he always calling you back. I think now that there's mods to kind of tone that down, at least with Preston Garvey, you can go ahead and do that if you played it back then. If you haven't played it at all, there's some good mods to try out to just make the game update it a little bit, make it a little better, get rid of some of the bugs. But going back to the dialogue system, it's not the greatest, especially coming off something like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. It's weird that they kind of scaled it back. Your responses really don't matter too much, outside of if you have a companion with you and they like or dislike what you said. But you can always make up stuff from there. There's a lot of the ambience things you can do, for example with Piper, you can pick locks, be nice to other people, help people out, and she'll like more of that kind of stuff.
That means.
But outside of that stuff that I didn't care for back then, the companions are still freaking awesome. That's not really one I dislike. I didn't like Strong early on when you first get him. He's the super mutant, if you didn't know. And now, after that, not just say now, but looking back on it, when I was able to further his quest a little bit, it's oh, okay.
What do you mean?
But other than that,
are you saying?
There's not a whole lot I dislike here anymore. Once all of that stuff kind of fades, and you get to play it again after not being years. Put over 100 plus hours into the game. Did a lot of the side quests. Didn't finish all of the DLC. But now having access to everything is pretty damn awesome. Going back and just checking that kind of stuff out, stuff I didn't get to finish, restarting the quest, and making a melee character. That I usually start melee in Fallout games, but
anyway,
it was a lot of fun going back to this. After taking time away from all the bad stuff you were hearing about at the time, it's probably similar for Fallout 76, although I still play that game. But definitely give this one a check. If you're into RPGs, it's not going to take too long if you were just sticking to the main story. I want to say if you were just going down the main story and just knocking that out, you're probably 30 hours or so. If you're doing the other stuff and getting companion stuff done, which is probably the better part of the game, honestly, this is one of those where the companions make the game, and their side quests are much better than the main quests. Definitely give this one a look. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Some more clips and stuff that'll just play out. And like they say, war never changes, but Fallout does. Catch you later. My name's Legend Greatness. Strive for greatness in everything you guys do. I'll see you later. Peace.
War never changes. In the year 1945, my great-great-grandfather, serving in the army, wondered when he'd get to go home to his wife and the son he'd never seen. He got his wish when the U.S. ended World War II by dropping atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The world awaited Armageddon. Instead, something miraculous happened. We began to use atomic energy not as a weapon, but as a nearly limitless source of power. People enjoyed luxuries once thought the realm of science fiction. Domestic robots, fusion-powered cars, portable computers. But then, in the 21st century, people awoke from the American dream. Years of consumption led to shortages of every major resource. The entire world unraveled. peace became a distant memory. It is now the year 2077. We stand on the brink of total war. And I am afraid. For myself. For my wife. For my infant son. Because if my time in the army taught me one thing, it's that war never changes.
It's been abandoned, though. I'm afraid this whole thing might be fruitless.
Always on good behavior, aren't you?
I try to be.
Seems like you're doing better than trying. I appreciate it. Too few folks can be bothered. Of course, in my experience, if you want to do real good, playing nice only gets you so far. I mean, look at Diamond City. A place I've been trying to warn of real danger. But every issue I publish, all I hear is, "Oh, Piper, why don't you ever publish anything happy? Piper, why can't you write something nice for a change?" It's enough to make me want to hang up my hat some days.
Sounds like it must be exhausting.
Huh, no kidding. But people, they deserve to know the truth. Sure, it can be scary, knowing what's really out there. A night doesn't go by, I'm not afraid some Institute drone will decide today's the day to pay old Piper and family a visit. But it's worth it, because I know the truth. That's what protects us.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. How can you protect you and yours if you don't know what you're facing?
Exactly. Most folks, though, they'd prefer a comforting lie. Not me. I've seen firsthand what the truth can do. My sister and I, we grew up way out in the Commonwealth. Tiny little settlement. Our dad, he was part of the local militia. Keeping the raiders off our backs and the mirelurks out of our latrines, as he'd describe it. Well, one day, our dad turns up dead. His captain, asshole named Mayburn, claims raiders must have gotten him on watch. Well, I didn't buy it. I start making inquiries. Turns out, captain, he'd sold out. Thought he wasn't getting paid enough to babysit the town. He was gonna leave the gates open one night. Let a group of raiders sack the place and take a cut of the profits. My dad found out and was gonna turn Mayburn in, but Mayburn got to him first. And I wasn't about to let that bastard get away with murder. I tried talking to the mayor, but he wouldn't listen. So, I papered the entire town in posters. Wanted for gross dereliction of duty, Captain Mayburn. The mayor sure wanted to talk after that. The town threw Mayburn out on his ass and were dug in when a very surprised group of raiders finally showed.
Piper, you saved those people.
No. Those people saved themselves. Because they knew the truth. But hey, I'm sorry if I've been rambling. I just get fired up sometimes. It's just nice to talk to someone who actually seems to get it, you know? So, should we head out?
Either way, I need to find Sean.
You're right. The speculation is getting us off track. Let's focus on what you saw. What did these kidnappers look like?
The woman was dressed in, I think it was a kind of hazard suit. The man had some sort of metal brace on his arm.
Maybe some kind of improvised armor? A lot of hired guns do that to look tough. The hazard suit is interesting. Not many mercs can afford something that fancy. What else do you remember about them?
One of them came right up to me. Bald head. Scar across his left eye.
Wait. It couldn't be. You didn't hear the name Kellogg at all, did you?
I might have. Everything was foggy.
It's way too big of a coincidence. Ellie, what notes do we have about the Kellogg case?
The description matches. Bald head, scar, reputation for dangerous mercenary work, but no one knows who his employer is.
And he bought a house here in town, right? And he had a kid with him, didn't he?
Yeah, that's right. The house in the abandoned West Stands. The boy with him was around 10 years old.
You said he lives here? He's still in town?
They both vanished a while back, if I'm remembering right. But that house is still there. Let's you and I take a walk over to Kellogg's last known address. See if we can snoop out where he went.
Security doesn't really go to that part of town, but you two should still be careful.
I always am. I didn't want Ellie to hear this, but I think you should know. Everything I dug up about Kellogg before his disappearance? Bad news. He's more than just a mercenary. He's a professional. Quick, clean, thorough. Has no enemies, because they're all dead. Except you. The 9-to-1 odds says he's our man. More than just you identifying his distinguishing features. The MO is all him as well. Leading a small team to kidnap a baby and leaving one of the parents alive for later? Not many mercs in the Commonwealth can pull that off.
So, here we are. Funny.
You murdering, kidnapping psychopath. Give me my son. Give me Sean! Now!
Right to it then, huh? Okay. Fine. Your son Sean. Great kid. Little older than you may have expected. But I'm guessing you figured that out by now. But if you're hoping for a happy reunion, ain't gonna happen, pal. Your boy's not here.
Fuck you, Kellogg.
Let him go. Your time's done. Your son is exactly where he belongs. He's home. In the Institute.
The Institute? Well, I'll find him. No matter where he is. Nothing will stop me.
God, you're persistent. I give you credit. It's the way a father should act. The way I'd be acting if I was in your place, I like to think. Even if it is useless. But I think we've been talking long enough. We both know how this has to end. So, you ready?
I'm going to make you suffer. All this tech. You were barely human.